All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of Youth Today's summer program on mentorship. So thank you guys for all logging in early this morning and joining us for a third day. We had a very successful day 2 yesterday on job readiness, on resume writing, interview etiquette, rights in the workplace, and workplace conduct. All very informative, and the links to those sessions we'll drop it in the chat today, because we had it on a live stream on YouTube, so you can find the videos there on our YouTube page. And also this will be streamed well, so if you miss a session or miss a section because of like internet connection or something, you can always look at it there. Today, as I said, is day 3, and it's based on mentorship. So this section of Youth Today is it falls under youth support. We're providing opportunities for young people to get advice or further understanding in certain areas. And a major part of this is our mentorship section, and that plays a big role in our programs over the years. A lot of people have an idea of what career or what program they want to study, but they don't really have like an idea of what actually goes into it. And it benefits a lot. It benefits a lot for someone to hear about someone's experiences and get advice and know exactly the steps that they can take. So yeah, it's benefited me a lot as an individual. I've had someone who studied accounting and finance before me, and that they given me little advice and whatever helped me a lot to just really put my best foot forward in my studies and as I'm entering the world of work now. So hopefully this session is as beneficial as possible for everyone. And it's the platform for our understanding. So our first session today would be on marketing, human resource, and tourism. Yes. We had done like a little poll beforehand to see what are the main career fields, and we came up with marketing, our first session, marketing, tourism, and human resource management. After we got accounting and finance, science, law, and medical sciences, law, and engineering and technology. So those are the sessions for today. Our first session today is, as we said, human resource, tourism, and marketing. So without further ado, we'll go into the. Let's just see 1 second. Let's see if all Shakita's here. Serena.
Could Serena and Shakita put on their cameras so we can see you guys?
Yeah, we're going into the. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to go into the first session today, and we'll just ask the presenters. We're just asking for the presenters to join in. We have a panel of 6 great presenters today. We have Maria Blackman, Deanna Salmon, Shanoya Francis, Serena Potter, Shakita Christopher, and Kanisi Lynch. So we're going to start this session with our panelists. I'll ask everyone just give a quick introduction, and then we'll go into our discussion.
We can start with you, Maria.
Maria, yes.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I am very excited to be here with you today, and thank you so much to Youth Today for asking me to be part of today's session. So I am a 15-year veteran in tourism. I have been working with the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority for the last, I would say, 12 years, and I spent 3 years at the Ministry of Tourism. My degree is in tourism management. I have a bachelor's in tourism management, and I believe in growth. So I went on and did a certificate in marketing from the Chartered Institute of Marketing in the UK, as well as I have a certificate in events management from the George Washington University. I don't know how much you want me to give at this point, you today, but I am currently employed at obviously the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority as Marketing Communications Manager. And what we really do in that area is work with our overseas teams, our overseas PR teams on liaising with the media, US, UK, Canada, the Caribbean media, inviting them on press trips to the destination to basically experience Antigua and Barbuda firsthand before they write about it. We work with our on-island stakeholders on creating campaigns to drive awareness of tourism and what we're doing in the destination. And we do quite a bit of writing. So if you're interested in writing, this is the career path for you, particularly if you want to be involved in the tourism field. Prior to working at the Ministry of Tourism and the Tourism Authority, I was employed at the Daily Observer newspaper. I think that's where I got my first taste of writing, and everything sort of ballooned from there on. I am a graduate of the University of the West Indies and also the Antigua Girls High School as well. I think I'll pass it on to someone else.
Yeah, I think we can go to Deanna. Thank you, Muriel.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Yuthi, for having me. It's a really good pleasure to be here. My name is Deanna Saman. I work at the Marketing Machine. I am the production and creative lead. I have an associate's degree from Abbott in Business Administration. I have a certificate from Google and Google Ads Display Certified. Recently, I became an associate member for the Chartered Institute of Marketing. I'm so glad Maria mentioned that. I've been looking into that for a while now. So I finally got approved. So I'm an associate member, part of that organization. My role at the Marketing Machine, I would say, will be the equivalent to some form of an operations manager. So I manage all special projects. I ensure that the KPIs are being met, targets are being hit. I also manage a team of 4 creatives. Yeah, that's about it for that part. I attended Johnny Secondary School. Future plans, I'm going to the University of West Indies 5 Islands to get my bachelor's in business management with concentration in marketing. And within the next 2-3 years, hopefully I'll be qualified to take the Chartered Marketeers exam from the Chartered Marketing Institute. So hopefully the next 2 to 3 years, I'll be a chartered marketeer. That's about it.
Great, thank you so much for that introduction, Deanna. We can go on to Kenisi. That's who I see next.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Are you hearing me? Oh, okay. So hi, good morning, and welcome to the Youth Summer Program for this year. As Rose would have mentioned, my name is Kenisi Lynch, and I am a 20-year-old student at the University of the West Indies Mona campus, where I am currently studying tourism management and marketing as a double major. And at UWI Mona, I am the president of the Antigua and Barbuda Student Association for the 2021 to 2022 academic year. And I am also a member of the UWI Mona Tourism Society. Additionally, I am currently interning at the Marketing Machine as a research assistant, And as some of you may already know, I am one of the 2 board directors for volunteerism and outreach at Youth Today. A little bit about my history in the tourism industry. My passion would have started when I was in high school at the Antigua Girls High School, and I had the opportunity of joining the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Cadets Corps in 2016. And from there on, I went on to win first place at the Junior Minister of Tourism speech competition in 2016. And then I would have interned at the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority in 2017, 2019, and 2020. And in the future, of course, I would love to continue working in the sustainable destination management and marketing field here in Antigua and Barbuda. So thank you guys so much for having me as a speaker, and I hope we all have a great beneficial day today. Yeah.
Thank you for that introduction, Kenisi. And as she said, she's also one of the co-directors of volunteerism and outreach here at Youth Today. So we're going to move right along to Serena.
Okay, hi, good morning. Everybody can hear me? Okay, so everybody, my name is Serena Posser. I'm 20 years old. I'm currently a student at the University of the West Indies Mona campus. I am majoring in tourism management. Just a little bit about how I got into tourism. It's actually very similar to Kinesi. I would have joined the Tourism Cadet Corps, and from there on, just really got into it. I would have interned in different tourism institutions. My first internship was at the Blue Waters Hotel, where I got like a little bit experience in hospitality. And then I would have moved on to the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, where I looked at more of the promotional and marketing aspects of tourism. So yeah, I'm currently, I'm pursuing my bachelor's in tourism management, and yeah.
Thank you for that introduction,
Yeah.
Serena. I expected you to kind of discuss Serena Adventures a little bit.
Oh, I
maybe
thought
we
I was
just-
gonna do that further along.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all
We
right.
just thought you were gonna drop it real quick in the intro.
That's all right.
That's no problem.
So we can move on to Shanoya.
Hi, good morning. My name is Shanoya Francis. I am 23 years old. I am the Group HR Administrator at the Big Banana Group of Companies. That comprises of about 4 main companies. That's the Lada, Big Banana in town, Big Banana at the airport, South Point Hotel, and Next International. I have a bachelor's degree in human resource management from the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus, along with a certificate of labor relations from the Antigua Barbuda Hotel Tourist Association. I got into the HR field because I was trying to figure out what I would like to do in life, and I'm a people person, so I definitely thought that working with people would be the best thing for me. Like, you have to work with something that you love, and I love people, so I thought that that would be the best choice for me. I'm just here to educate anybody or let them know what the human resource field has in store for everybody, and that's it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shanoy, for that introduction. And last but not least, we have Shakita Christopher. Can you just come on and introduce yourself to everyone?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so my name is Shakita Christopher. I am 20 years old. I currently attend the University of the West Indies Five Islands campus in my 3rd year, and I am pursuing a bachelor's degree in management with a concentration in human resources. At the university, I hold a position of guild president and former guild secretary. Before attending the university, I was a former student of the Antigua State College in the business department, where I obtained my associate degree in business administration, and a proud old girl of the Antigua Girls High School since the year 2017. In my spare time, I enjoy spending time with close friends and family, listening to music, preferably soca, singing, dancing, and playing steel pan. Also, I enjoy volunteering my time, helping others in any way possible, and involving myself in any community outreach programs. In the future, I aspire to obtain my master's in HR and someday become a counselor for individuals between the ages of 13 to 25. And this is because I share a love for helping others, working with people, and trying to find solutions for any problems that they may encounter. Besides that, I'm really happy to be here today, so thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Shakita. And those are our panelists for today. I feel like we're going to have a really good discussion today. So we're just going to go into our first set of questions, and we're going to just ask Maria our first question for the day, which is,
I'm
what do
not
you
sure
say?
if it's me, but you're sounding a bit low.
Low? Okay. Maybe if I put up the sound. Is it better now?
A bit.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I bet. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is for Maria. What would you say is your main reason for entering your particular career field?
So let me just begin with a bit of a story. When I was at Antigua Girls High School, I felt as if I wanted to do either law, be a vet, or be a journalist. Okay. So I went on to A levels. I really did still have law in my mind. I took law as one of my classes. And then honestly, I realized I was not very good with dates. and memorizing those all that bits of information related to law. Anyway, I still wanted to do law. I moved over to Anguilla, and I had the opportunity to intern at the Lake and Kentish law firm. It was a great experience. I learned quite a bit, particularly in terms of paying attention to detail. But I realized that law was not the area for me. Felt as if I wanted to do something where I wasn't arguing all the time. I didn't want to be in that type of environment. So I moved back to Antigua and decided I wanted to explore the area of journalism. That was one of the things that I really wanted to do as well. So I got a job at the Daily Observer newspaper as an advertising clerk, but that was not the area that I wanted to be in. So they realized, what, she wants to write. So they actually gave me an opportunity, and I'm forever grateful to the Daily Observer. They gave me an opportunity to go out into the field. One of my first assignments was at my old school, Antigua Girls High School, where they invited me to cover, I think it was an award ceremony. I did my article. When I went back, I wrote my article in the office. When I showed it to the editor, she made one of my mentors. They called me aside and they said, okay, cut. Too much information. This is how we write articles. Who, what, when, where, why, what, how, in that format. You don't need to write everything. You don't need to write about everything that happened, just the key points. So that was my first sort of experience with writing for print. And I loved it. But I also decided that, I wanted to get some qualifications. So the University of the West Indies option was available. I knew before that I had applied to a bunch of different schools because I wanted to do law. So I applied to the University of New York, but that didn't pan out. Came back to Antigua, as I said, and said, let me just apply to University of the West Indies here and maybe do business management. Anyway, so when I went to hand in my registration form, I was told I needed maths. So I was not the best math student. I will not lie. I'm still not that good at maths. I know where my strong points are. Okay, and that's so important for you to know what you are good at and to use it to your advantage. I mean, my dad wanted me to do accounts and I just cut that from the onset. I said, I'm not doing accounts. I'm not good at maths. Anyway, so when I found out business management, I needed maths. I said, okay, what else can I do? And I was told I could do tourism management. And I said, I didn't even know that was a thing at that time, honestly. And I said, you know what? I love my country. I'm passionate about Antigua and Barbuda. I've always been. I had an aunt who was in the field already. She was the director of tourism for Canada at the time. And I got an opportunity to go to the Bahamas where I always wanted to go. So I said, I'm going to do tourism management. I am going to do it and I'm going to love it. And I'm going to excel in it. And I ended up I did first year, we do first year at the Antigua campus. And then I did my other 2 years at in Nassau, Bahamas. And I enjoyed it. We had the opportunity to intern. It's my first internship I did at a hotel. I did it at Sandals brand, and I loved it. A bunch of different departments, from the weddings department to food and beverage to housekeeping, concierge guest services. If I ever went back in a hotel, I think that's an area that I would want to work in. And I did my second internship at the Ministry of Tourism. When I was at the Ministry of Tourism, we really got a chance to go to the different departments as well, because at this point in time, I honestly did not know where I would fit in tourism. Yes, I was doing a degree in tourism management, but any student would know that you do a series of subjects, and it's for you to really pick the subject that you gravitate to and excel in that one. So we did the different departments: sustainable tourism, tourism education, training and awareness, heritage, statistics, and communications, as well as marketing and promotions. So I obviously had already had my experience writing at the Daily Observer. So being in the communications department, that kind of just fit with me naturally. I got an opportunity to write lots of different press releases that went out as is, because I'd already had that sort of experience. And the communications officer at that time went on maternity leave, and I was afforded the opportunity of getting a job at the Ministry of Tourism. So because she was on leave, I got to act in her position. When she came back, they kept me on at the Ministry of Tourism, and it just went on from there. So my foray into tourism management, it was a bit, I would say it was by chance, and even getting involved into the whole communications aspect of things. It wasn't an area where I knew when I was beginning this degree that it was where I would end up. But I took a survey of my surroundings. I looked at what was available to me, the different options, and I jumped at the opportunity. This was an opportunity for me to get a job in the communications area, and I grasped it. So I didn't go in there with blinders on, and that's something that I really want to make those of you listening today, aware of. You don't go in with a set mind, you need to expand your horizons, look at what's happening in your area, look at the opportunities that are available to you, and see where you can excel and take advantage of that. Don't go in saying, okay, I want to be maybe an accountant and I want to work here or wherever. Take everything into stock and intern. If there's an opportunity to intern, so you get an idea of what the field is about, and take it from there. So that's how I got into communications, in a roundabout way. That's it.
Great. Thank you so much for that story.
I feel like she covered
yes,
a whole experience. And I feel like from that, I realized one thing that I took away from that is just like, be open to opportunities that arise. Don't just stick into anything. And if you don't feel comfortable in something, you can always change. The time is not really a matter. And I think a lot of young people feel like they're obligated to stay in something because they have to do this. Or if you're not feeling passionate about it, do explore other options, because that is your job and you have to continue. So I really love that. I love your story and your experience, and gravitating from law all the way to tourism, So it's not the most direct career path, but a lot of people can learn from that. So from hearing from your experience, and you told us like how you got into it was by chance, in a sense. We can move to Deanna for her to tell us like a little bit on how she was able to get into the marketing field.
Okay, so just like Maria, I have quite a story to tell. I did not want to become anything marketing related, business related, anything of the sort. I actually wanted to become a pediatric surgeon. So during school, I did all sciences, chemistry, physics, biology, everything, the full works. I did everything science related. And then when I did CXC, I failed physics. I was not good at physics, but I had to do physics. So So, okay, all right. My mom sent me to Learning Center to redo physics. But while I was at Learning Center, Mr. Lake asked me, "You sure you don't want to try a business subject just in case?" My mom wasn't for it, so I went behind her back. I went to my dad, and he paid for the business subject. Up to this day, she could not believe we did that behind her back. So I did business administration, I think it was called. No, principles of business. I did principles of business, and I actually got a distinction in principles of business, and I failed physics again. So moving from that, I was like, I don't think this is really my thing per se. I was already discouraged and so forth. So I started working at a restaurant in Joy Hub called Castaways. At the time, the manager was a really good friend of my mom's. So she said, okay, you can come and maybe you might like something in the tourism industry per se. So I was the food and beverage coordinator. So I would be like a floater around the bar, the restaurant, as well as administrative tasks at the back. While I was there, I started going to Abbott. I did business administration. And while I was at Abbott, I realized that I kind of like the marketing course. And at the restaurant, she was asking me, what are your ideas? What can we do to promote the restaurant more? What can we do to increase sales? What can we do to make customers, return? Because at the time, there were existing customers, yes, but they were solely dependent on cruise ships. So whenever it was off season, the restaurant will close down. So what can we do? What innovative ideas do I have to bring to the table to keep business booming and keep everybody employed? So at the time I came up with, it was a Thursday night line. So it had like beer bucket specials. It attracted a lot of locals. And I realized that, okay, maybe there might be something here that I may like. So from there, I started doing a bit of research. I was still going to Abbott at the time. So I started to do a bit of research into marketing area to see what parts, because marketing itself is like a broad spectrum. So what parts of it do I really enjoy? So I realized that I kind of like branding and I like the whole project management of it all. I'm a stickler for things being a particular order. So I went on to do a certificate from IE Business School in brand and product management. And from there, I was like, okay, this may be something that I'm really into. And then the restaurant closed down. It's now called Bodog Beach. So the restaurant closed down for a couple of months. And then I started working at Travel Smart Vacation Club in the sales and marketing department. And from there, I realized that, okay, this may be it. And this may be something that I should like really take seriously. So I went on to doing a bunch of other certificates. So as I said before, I'm Google Ads Display certified. One thing you can take, well, for the participants listening, you can take into consideration. There's a lot of free courses that you don't really have to pay for that is extremely accredited. So like Google has Google Skill Shop. There's a bunch of certificates you can get. It's pretty intense. I failed my first time, but after that, I kind of grasped like what I need to focus on. And I realized that digital ad placement and branding is my thing. It's just what I'm into. I like social media. I like the whole metrics of it all. So I went on to doing a few more Google certificates. And then from there was an ad, I think it was 2020, late 2017 or early 2018, Marketing Machine put on an ad for marketing assistant. And I actually knew Shalita. So I was like, okay, this is where I need to be because I can learn from him. And I went with an open mind. So I applied, I got through the position as marketing assistant. And then it just went up from there, from marketing assistant to production and creative lead, to now having my own team of persons that I managed, to going into meetings with CEOs and CFOs and feeling confident in exactly what I'm talking about because I had that foundation. I surrounded myself with persons that can elevate me and educate me. Because one thing I realized being in the marketing industry, it's a continuous learning process. It's literally something new every single day. And you have to figure out what aspect of marketing itself that you really, really love. And as I said, I enjoy the digital space. So I just stuck with it, and here I am today. So like Maria said, you gotta go into it with an open mind, because I actually wanted to be a pediatric surgeon. I told my mom, I'm gonna be the first Antiguan pediatric surgeon. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, but physics definitely stopped me. So yeah, that's just a bit about how I got into the marketing field per se.
Very interesting, honestly. It's like I love to hear the experience of going from something else and going into transitioning into something
Into a
else.
completely different field.
Because a lot of people feel like once they get this degree or whatever, or once they study something and put their mind to something, other opportunities are not there. Keeping an open mind is very important. I hope people, the participants, are taking this into account. So I just want to go to Shanoya, because Shanoya did indicate like her interest in people, and that's why she felt like HR was the ideal route to go to. But I just wanted to know how, if there were any barriers or challenges for you entering this field in Antigua.
And also, for our participants, you can ask any question, you can put it in the chat, and we'll ask the panelists, or if you want to raise your hand and ask the panelists.
Yeah, Shanoya.
Well, there were barriers because in Antigua, a lot of companies and organizations, they expect you to have experience. And with me being so young, I am 23 and I am the youngest person working at where I work in the administrative department. So it was hard getting in because everybody does not believe that you have the knowledge or the experience, which internships do make a difference. You may not want to do that because you think that you're just doing this work and they're not paying you, it's for free, but they do make a difference, because that was the reason that I had the experience that I did have on my resume to get the job. So I do think that with the experience factor, it was hard getting into the field. I want to say I got this job by luck, because I did apply for a different job. I applied for an administrative assistant position. I didn't get through with that because they hired somebody else, but the lady remembered me, and that's why she was like, oh, there was this girl who did human resource managers, and I think that she would be a good HR administrative assistant. So that's why I got this position. It was kind of by luck, but I do think that experience-wise in Antigua, they always expect to have experience. So do go through with internships anywhere that you can. Don't, just because it's unpaid doesn't mean that it's not worth it. So do have an open mind about that.
Thank you for that response, Shanoya. And as you said, you encourage the participants or anyone who's listening to take up as much opportunities as possible, because of age, we won't be able to have all the experience as someone who's been in the field for like 10 plus years over. So you encourage persons to take on internships. And I want to piggyback on that and speak to Kenisi and as well as Serena. And I want to ask Kenisi, because she indicated in her introduction that she interned at Ministry of Tourism and is also now currently an intern at Marketing Machine. So I just want to speak about, if you could just speak about your experience interning and how did you actually get into these internships? Was it that something you applied for? Just speak about your experience in that.
Okay, you guys are hearing me, right? Okay, so my first internship would have been in 2017 at the Ministry of Tourism, jointly between the Ministry of Tourism and ABTA. And I actually won that as one of my prizes for winning first place from the Junior Minister of Tourism speech competition. So that is when I got my foot in the door per se. And then anytime after that, apply. I had to apply. I had to build my resume. I had to make it look as good as possible because, I was literally 17, 16, fresh out of high school, haven't done anything. So I had to apply in 2019 and I got called in for an interview and everything with Mr. Jacobs, and it went well. I was accepted and I got to work there. It was a very, very great experience. And I definitely agree with the entire panel when they say to take as many opportunities as possible and get as much experience as possible, because I can never say that I did not learn when I interned at the ABTA or at Ministry of Tourism. There was when I got to develop more of my skills and kind of understand, what really goes into tourism management and tourism marketing. And that's when I got to see how dynamic and it's such a huge industry, the tourism industry. So I got to learn about these different areas and, kind of test out the water, see where I would best fit, what I liked most. Sometime throughout that period, I would have also worked in the hospitality industry. I think I shadowed at Jumbi Bay. I think it was 2016. Yes, so I got a opportunity to job shadow at Jumbi Bay, a Rosewood resort, and then I also would have gotten to shadow at Curtain Bluff Hotel as well. So the experience was definitely worth it. I got so many opportunities, even to just connect with tourists and connect with all our different persons who come down overseas and connect with the different agents. And then last year, 2020, I applied again for the marketing machine. There was a position for a Christmas sales agent. They had a cool name for it, but it was a Christmas sales agent. By then, I knew I liked speaking to people and approaching people, but I did not think I was made out for marketing per se, because even though it may not look like it, I'm kind of shy. So I was like, you know what, Kenisi, take this opportunity. You don't have much experience with selling products, but you're a quick learner, take the opportunity. And I took it, I ran with it. I went through 2 interviews and I got through. I was a sales agent then. And then you see why it's so important to take these opportunities, because now I am no longer a sales agent and I'm a research assistant. So now I work at the headquarters of a telecommunications company. So there's always room for growth, especially when you go for it. Just go for it. No matter what it is, no matter how afraid you are, just go for it. That's my advice.
Great. Thank you so much for that response, Kenisi. And I liked how you went through like everything that you went through to apply. And, even though you were a bit nervous and you had a little self-doubt, you were just like, you know what, I'm still going to try my best and put my best foot forward. So thank you so much. I just want to speak to Serena now about your experience as an intern. And also, because we also talk about grabbing as many opportunities as there is, but I feel like you're someone who has created her own opportunity or has created her own platform to kind of advocate for tourism in Antigua. So I just wanted you to kind of elaborate on that and speak about your experience in that.
Wait, you were sticking up a little bit, so I really didn't hear anything that you just said.
You didn't hear me. You can hear me now?
It keeps sticking.
Oh, okay, I wonder if I can send you the message. Can you?
I can hear you now.
You can hear me now.
You can hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just saying, if you could speak on your experience as an intern and also your experience in creating your own opportunities with Rena Adventures.
Okay, so, well, good morning again. In 2017, I would have gotten my first internship opportunity through the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Co-op, because it's basically a tourism program that brings persons from different schools together. And in the summer, you get an opportunity to work at like a hotel or basically any other tourism related institution. So I got chosen to work at Blue Waters, and I was very scared because I was 16. It was my first job opportunity. Like, it was wild. So, but I'm really glad I got the opportunity because I think that it toughened me up and made me realize exactly what the hospitality industry is about. And I have a lot of respect for persons who work in that field, because it is a lot of work, it is a lot of manual labor, it is a lot of sacrifice, having to work long hours. So I really got a sense of the hospitality aspect of tourism and just basically what it entails. And then the following year, in 2018, I got through with an internship at the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority. And I did an internship the following year with them again, and then last year. So 3 internships with them. And I'm really grateful for that opportunity because it really helped me to form my own tourism page, Rena's Adventures. I got a lot of tips in terms of like the marketing and promotion of the country, in terms of like the environmental aspects. I got to meet a lot of people. I got to interact with a lot of people within the industry and just get a lot of knowledge from them. And I was able to apply those skills. For those of you who don't know, I have a page where I basically promote the country and everything that we have to offer. So from our beaches to the restaurants, fun things to do. I know a lot of people would say, oh, you know, there isn't anything to do in Antigua. And I wanted to create my page to kind of prove that that is not true, because there's a lot of things to do. Some things, of course, you're gonna have to shell out, you know, resources if you want to do certain things, but there's simple things that you can do. And yeah, through my internships, I would have like gathered all of that knowledge and applied it to Rena's Adventures. And I created that when I was 16. And yeah, I just go on different adventures. I host like beach cleanups, speak about the importance of protecting the environment. I've created different campaigns to promote sustainable living, and not just talk about it, but you know, implement that in my own life, because I don't want to be telling people, come, let's clean up the beach, and I'm not doing that. Come, let's use less plastic, and I'm not doing that. So just basically sharing information on things to do and promoting local businesses as well. You know, we're in a pandemic right now, and a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people have like small businesses. So I like to, you know, promote that, actually buy the products and review them so persons can know exactly what they're dealing with. And yeah, I think it's very important to put yourself out there, because okay, I know this is so typical, but I'm a shy person as well. And I was a bit apprehensive going into the tourism industry, because you have to be a very outgoing personality, and you have to be very confident, and you have to be very sure of yourself, because if you're selling your tourism product and people are not convinced, then what are you doing? You understand? So I feel like just working at those different internships, just entering the world of work for, you know, a short period of time and really seeing what it actually entails. I would employ everybody to try and get an internship opportunity, you know, apply. I mean, youth today always post different things. Apply, reach out to people in your respective field so you can gain knowledge and understanding, meet different people. Yeah.
Thank you, Serena. And I'm glad that you guys, both you and Kanisi, have been able to identify a lot of internships and understand that you need to gain some experiences beforehand for you guys to really gauge your career advancement. So we've heard a lot from Kanisi and Serena in terms of opportunities and internships in your respective fields, but I'm wondering if with Shakita, if you feel like there's enough internships within the human resources career field for those who are looking forward, who are pursuing that that type of degree.
Good morning, everybody. To answer your question, I don't think there are many internships with HR, because the few internships that I've been on, it's I would say similar to the fields of HR, but not directly pertaining to HR. I've had the experience to work at LIAT on my internship from the Antigua State College, and I ended up in the engineering department. However, in the engineering department, I was doing filing, I was doing more administrative work, not at the HR department, at LIAT. Then I went to Sandals and I was doing an internship again, and it was being a concierge, and that doesn't really pertain to HR. However, I was given the opportunity to work with other people, meet a lot of different people, help them to solve their problems. So it's not really open to HR, but I'm able to get the opportunity to develop myself. However, I do think that they should have more internships pertaining to HR.
Okay. I feel like I personally did not think of any like scholarships or internships in human resources. So I feel like you more have to like look for it on your own. There's not like an established like tourism cadets or like the Ministry of Tourism offering internships. You have to more be a go-getter and try and find different areas for human resource opportunities. Um, I want to go back to Kanisi and Serena real quick in terms of, I think both of you guys spoke about tourism cadets. I just wanted to just give people a little informative session on how exactly you guys were given the opportunity to join, and if you feel like that's something that is good for like any young person, maybe in marketing or tourism or maybe in any other field, if they could benefit from that experience in different areas. I don't know if Kanisi or Serena, which one of you guys go back to answer that one.
Would you like to go first, Serena? Oh, okay. Okay. So I would have been a part of the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Cadets Corps 2016. I'm not sure if it was the first year, but how it would have happened was we were in high school and they came to, well, not that they didn't come to the school, but they advertised the corps at the school and they left like a sign-up sheet, and then we would have had to sign up, and then we got accepted if approved, because I actually know of persons who did not get accepted. That was so crazy, but we got accepted, and then we had this lovely banquet at Casa Palmadita, where they basically gave us a rundown of the initiative and explained to us, gave us a little bit of history about the tourism industry and explain what their goal was with the initiative, with the corps. And that was to really educate young persons. The tourism industry is our main industry for the entire Caribbean region and so many international countries as well. And so they really aimed at educating us about, the different aspects of the tourism industry and how we can make an impact in the tourism industry. So it was a short program, short initiative, and we would have done things like visit different excursions or historical sites in Antigua and Barbuda. They really introduced us to some of our products. We would have had talks. There would have been important persons in the tourism industry who came in to speak to us. I believe one of them was Miss Shirley Nibbs. She is currently the tourism consultant for the tourism industry. And I really, really enjoyed meeting her. And there were so many persons that we got to connect with and build our network with and just understand what it was like to operate and build in the tourism industry, especially when it comes to the management aspect of tourism rather than the marketing. Because some persons only look at the tourism industry and they're like, yeah, we're just selling Shirley Heights and, Circumnav with Dudley Cats and stuff like that. But there's so much that goes into to operating and planning, especially with policy making and destination management as well. And so we learned a lot from that core, and we had like a cute little graduation, and we got prizes. The director at the time was Miss Petley Knight. Love her. She was so helpful, and she was really, really sweet. And I think everyone who attended the core would have definitely benefited from it, whether it was by meeting new persons who share your interest, who share similar interests, and just learning about the tourism industry. And it was from all different schools. So there were students from high school, grammar school, Jennings, Pears. It was very like a nice melting pot of education and interaction. It was really, really cool. And then Serena can speak about her experience.
I don't know if Serena wants to add anything to that.
No, she basically covered everything that happened in the program.
Okay. All right. So we'll move into a question that one of the participants has asked. And I'll pose this to actually Maria first, and then Deanna could take her take on it, and then Shanoya will give her experience. But they're asking, what were some of the challenges you faced in your current position? So I'll ask Maria first.
You know what? I would say one of the challenges that I face, and Kanisi and Serena might probably know this because they've interned at the Tourism Authority as well, is finding good writers. I feel like a lot of time people come in to office, they want to work in marketing, they think it entails lots of traveling and doors and up, and that is part of the job, and going to events, and that is definitely part of the job. Sometimes it feels like work, and sometimes it feels like you're working where you vacation. So, and it's like a lot of fun as well at times, but it is a lot of hard work. Getting people, I don't know what it is, but getting people who like to write, that's something I would consider a challenge. A lot of people, they're into the social media now, and they're into the videos and the posting, and visual is definitely the way to go, but for some things you need to be able to write. Another challenge I think is getting people to multitask. Our job is not a job where you can say, my job is just to do writing, or my job is just to do social media. You need to be able to do everything. Let's just say that. My office is very small. The Antigua office is small. We have 13 persons in this office, and we do activities locally. We do activities in the region, the Caribbean region, and we offer the support to our overseas offices. So our US office, our Canadian office, our UK and Europe office, and they're all very small teams. Our US office has let's say 6 people. Our Canadian office has 1 person or 2 people on a good day. Our UK office has 4, 5 people. So we all need to pitch in and do everything. You can't come into the office and say, today I'm just doing social media posts. No, we might ask you to go to an event, organize an event. We might ask you to do the logistics for a group that's coming in, work on a press trip itinerary, a farm trip itinerary. So you need to be well-rounded. And I find like that might be a challenge where persons come in with just one mindset, thinking this is what I'm going to be doing, when really it's not the case. You need to know to do everything. Not a challenge. I don't even feel like I look at it as challenge. I think they're more opportunities to develop yourself. The challenge maybe with COVID, everybody knows that is a crisis. It's a health crisis, but it's definitely affecting the tourism industry today. It's something that we've had to deal with for the last year and basically a half now, and it looks as if things, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed and knocking on wood that this Delta variant does not get out of hand and just cause another lockdown. That would be like my worst nightmare ever, because we really all had to work very hard during that time. Persons might have said, "Oh, there's no tourists coming, so you all are probably not busy." We've been our busiest because it's really been a fight for our survivor, you know. So it's just been going constantly, you know, liaising with media, giving them the correct protocols, liaising with consumers who've now been reaching out to us directly about questions that they need answered, liaising with our hotel partners, our tourism partners, all of our stakeholders, worrying about, you know, the people who would have lost employment and what we can do to support them, working with the Antigua Hotels and Tourism Association. So it's this pandemic has been a challenge, you know, but apart from that, it's just finding persons who know that when they decide that I want to apply for a position at the Tourism Authority or a position at the Ministry of Tourism, teams are small, so you really need to work together. You know, that's it.
Thank you so much, Maria. That's actually a question I was going to ask. How has COVID really impacted your position being in the tourism field? But thank you so much for your response. We can move on to Deanna. What were some challenges you faced in your current position?
Okay, so when I first started out working at the marketing machine, one of my major challenges that I overcame would have been adapting to new content, new clients. So 1 minute you're writing content for an insurance company, the next minute you're writing content for a bank, or you're doing something for one of the events. Because when I started marketing machine at the time, it was in the preparation for LOL and Red Eye. So I had to quickly try to learn the ropes of those 2 major events. That was a really, 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 really challenging period during the start of my stint here at the marketing machine. But how I overcame that would have been to research, and that was my downfall at the time. Like, in order for you to know what to say and know what to write, you have to know what you're writing and know the background of what you're exactly doing. So I just went into it and said, oh, it's just event. I know about cast and other songs and these things. That should be easy. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. And then Chalita pulled me aside and said, okay, this is how you have to approach it. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. So with content development and content writing, it entails a lot of research, not just saying something funny to get like a 3-5% engagement rate. You have to actually connect with the audience, and you also have to know the client writing style, their tone, and so forth. Now transitioning into a supervisory role, one of the challenges I face is dealing with different persons and their personalities, knowing the strengths and the weaknesses of your team, because for a team to work cohesively, you have to know what this person is good at and what this person isn't good at. At the time, I was taking the approach of everybody being an all-rounder, so you should be able to multitask, do this and that. And I realized that some of the tasks were being done, yes, but it wasn't being done correctly. So it's more of a quantity over quality aspect of it that was going on. And I had to learn to adapt to using my team efficiently so that the job and the work can get done. So those are 2 of my major challenges that I faced going into my career and how I overcame them.
Thank you so much, Deanna. And now, Shanoya, what were some challenges you faced in your current position?
A major challenge, I touched on it briefly, again, would be my age. So I am the youngest administrative person working in the office, and then now being the HR administrator, persons did not trust my judgment or what I had to say, because they didn't think that I knew what I was talking about, because, oh, who's this little young girl? How does she think that she can tell me what to do? Because everybody is way older than me. So how I overcame it, it was actually my managing director. I told him my frustrations in the position and why I wasn't happy where I was. And he held a meeting and he let everybody know that, okay, she's younger, but she has the knowledge, she knows what to do. And after that, it was a complete 360 and it changed everything changed. So now people are coming to me with their problems and they do trust that I can rectify the issue, and you just have to be knowledgeable. And if you're not comfortable with something, do speak up about it, because if you don't speak up about the situation, nobody is going to know how you're feeling. So that was how I overcame that challenge. It was just a quick talk with my managing director, telling him that I don't think that it's working out, because when I would give it a problem solve something, they would say, oh, is that the right choice? Or they would go behind my back and ask somebody else. So since then, I haven't had that issue ever again after speaking with my director. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shanoy, for that response. So now we just wanted to touch a bit on those who are currently studying, because our mentorship day, it's kind of based off of our career and university sessions that we would have had in the past. So we just kind of fused the two. So for the participants who are interested in continuing the studies and they just want to just have a little bit more information on, you know, the schools and why you chose those schools, different things like that. So I want to start off with Kenisi. Could you just tell us what factors you took into account in deciding your current university?
Okay. Well, the selection of my university is actually a very, very wild story. I knew that I wanted to study marketing and tourism first and then marketing. And so I had looked everywhere, all over. I was looking at schools in the UK, in the United States. I even had Monroe College, and I had actually applied to, I figured that, you know, it would have been better in the Caribbean region because, you know, this is Caribbean tourism. This is Antigua and Barbuda. And so I had actually applied to the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus, but I also, you know, I was like, let me make a backup choice, and I applied to Mona. And then along the way, and I actually had a lot of conversations about selecting university. And, you know, while speaking to her, I was informed that, you know, the Mona campus was more direct in terms of tourism, and that they concentrated on it more, and so that the material and all the things that they taught, the courses and just the execution of tourism management was more detailed in Jamaica. And so that was one of the factors. I was like, okay, so Jamaica, the Mona campus may be better, and I'm one to try and get as much details as possible, because sometimes tourism, it may be like recurring information. So I always want to learn new information. So I was like, okay, Mona. And then another factor, I will be honest, is that the cost of living at Mona is significantly less than Cave Hill. I'm not sure what's happening at Cave Hill, but Mona, it was cheaper. And so I was like, okay, factor two. And then the third factor was that Mona got back to me before Cave Hill. So I was like, okay, Cave Hill, you just lost a student, that's fine. And then the fourth factor was that Serena was actually traveling there as well. And so I was like, okay, you know, I have a companion. I'm not going into it completely blind with like no persons that I know or anything like that. I think we were the only persons from Antigua who were studying tourism management in that year. And so it was really great to have a friend, a companion, so that we could go through the process together. So that was really my factors that made me choose Mona.
Great. I actually want to ask the same question to Shakito, seeing as she is currently studying at UWI Five Islands and is the current guild president there. So I wanted her to shed some light on why she decided to go to Five Islands.
Okay, so really and truly, I applied for UWI in Cave Hill. there was a time when you would have to do a year here at the Antigua State College, and then you would have to go to Cave Hill for your other 2 year. And I was just finishing state college in 2019, and the university started in 2019 as well. So I was saying, okay, we're gonna have you here, so why not just stay home in my home country? And it's cheaper. Cost of living is cheaper, and I live literally 10 minutes away from the university. So, I'm in the comfort of my home. I can always drive down the road for classes. So it's mostly on the cost side for me, in that it's cheaper, and plus I'm home with my family, my friends. So I don't really have much to worry about. And that's why I chose Five Islands campus as my university choice.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Shakita. Serena, yes. What factors would you say that influenced your choice to choose UWI Mona?
Okay, so my facts would have been based on like my sister. She would have my sister and my brother. My sister would have gotten her first degree at UWI, so my parents trusted that it was a good school, and I didn't look at any other option other than UWI. I didn't want to travel outside of the Caribbean. I had no interest in that whatsoever. And my brother was already down there in Jamaica, so I would have him and he could come and, I don't know, take care of me essentially. So that was basically the main reason, as Kenisi would have said, cost of living, and everything was cheaper than Cave Hill. And also I have a church down there that I go to, so I would have had community life. I had friends that were going as well. As Kenisi said, both of us went down there, and we had other friends that went down there, so we weren't alone. And everything just pointed towards Jamaica. Everything like that is just where I was supposed to be. And yeah, I had no interest in traveling outside of the Caribbean. UWI was always the option. From my first year of state college, I was like, I'm going to UWI. Not Trinidad, that was not an option. Either Cave Hill or Jamaica. So yeah.
Your mic is
You're
muted.
muted. You're muted. Oh God. But as we can hear, thank you guys for your takes on what were the factors that you had to consider in going into pursuing your degree and the type of university that you choose. But with those, so a lot of people are considering degrees and certain universities. But what I would pose to Maria, Diana, and Shanoya is, what do you think are the qualifications that you need for entering this field? Do you feel like it's necessary for someone to get a bachelor's degree? Do you feel like it's avenues for people to go? Do you think a master's degree? Do you think, like, I know Shanoya mentioned she got a certificate in labor relations. So like, what are the qualifications you feel are most needed for your particular degrees, your particular fields in Antigua? We could start with Maria.
You know what? That's a tough question for me to answer, because I've seen persons with degrees who come in and they've not really excelled. So my whole take on it is, you need to have passion. You need to have a passion for the area that you're getting involved in. You need to be willing to learn. Skills are teachable, as they always like to say, but it is your personality, it's your drive. That's what is going to make or break you. It's definitely going to make or break you. Yes, get that academic background. You need to get your bachelor's, get your bachelor's, I mean, it's always going to help you when you think about advancing yourself, but don't let it stop there. You've gotten your bachelor's, yes, you've done an internship, extremely important. You have your foot in the door of that place where you want to work. Don't think I've made it and then you just cease to stop striving. You've not made it. You've gotten your foot in, and it's now up to you to prove yourself. What you've learned in school, it will give you a bit of an advantage over someone who hasn't had any sort of that academic experience, but there's a lot more learning to do. Don't stop learning. I'm constantly reading, as the lady from the marketing machine said, marketing is an area that is always evolving. You have to be growing. It's fast paced. You need to learn. I did not know about social media when I got my degree. Now I have to be learning about social media and all of these trends and this Instagram and TikTok, and now I'm hearing about Clubhouse and Snapchat and all of these different things. I mean, obviously it's not all applicable to my target audience, but it's important to know about it. It's important to know the trends, the marketing trends, driving growth in your industries. And this is something that I'm very passionate about in terms of letting people know, yes, get the qualifications, but still continue to learn when you go into the workplace. Show that you did not just go to school and that was it. You need to be able to apply what you've learned into the world of work. Like if you went to school and you learned how to, let's say, you did a marketing project, and along the lines of doing that marketing project, you had to create a document, create tables, create pie charts or what have you not. And then you go into the workplace and you realize, oh, they're doing it. They're going through so many different steps to get that same result that I could do maybe in 2 steps. Then you take that knowledge into the workplace and you make it better. You don't just fall into the whole flow of how that workplace is running. You were hired because you had a skill set. You had some sort of talent that person hiring you thought was important. So it is up to you now to prove yourself, prove your worth, and continue to excel. Always continue to grow. For those persons who don't have that academic background, don't let it stop you. Okay, everybody starts off without experience. Maybe you have to start, maybe you want to be the CEO, but you have to start at an entry level position. Before I was not one of those people that went to high school and went off to university, then got a job. I went to high school, I did the A-levels, I got the job experience. Okay, I got the job experience, then I moved on from there. I always believe in getting experience before maybe you said, okay, I could have said I wanted to do law and went straight to law school and then realized that I didn't like it. So I always suggest people get experience as well first in the area that they're interested in getting into. And if you're one of those people, you need to get that experience first. You get that experience, you learn as much as you can from the people around you. You get a mentor. You see how they operate, you ask them for advice as well, and you take it from there. So there's no one way of getting to that end result. There are multiple ways, multiple routes to get there. Just use the route that's best for you, and most importantly, have that passion. Without passion, without that drive, you're not going to get very far.
Thank you for that, Maria. What about Diana? What are your take on what's needed for marketing?
Maria would have said basically everything, but I would just like to add to it that it goes heavy on passion. It has to be something that you want to wake up every morning and you feel good about yourself. You feel motivated to go to work to get the job done, because without the passion, the degree, in my opinion, it'll be pointless. You're just going to work's sake. You're not going to put your all into it. And then that could lead to termination if you're not being productive in your field. Additionally, if you can't go, let's say you have financial restraints on going to college, You can do research. Like I said before, I would have went on to Google Skillshop. It's actually a free educational platform certified by Google themselves, where you could learn about the new market trends or what's happening within the market. As I said before, marketing is something that is continuous. You're gonna learn every day. Things change by the snap of a finger, and you just have to have the drive and the passion and the motivation to go forward. Another platform you could use, it'll be HubSpot. They have great marketing and sales courses. Like I said, I think it's free for the first month or so, but you may have to pay a small monthly fee. You can save towards that. I think it's like probably 20 US a month or something of the sort, but it is accredited. They give great advice and stuff like that. But everything boils down to passion. Education is key. Yes, you can have the foundation. You can get your bachelor's, you get your associates. I currently don't have my bachelor's, but the knowledge that I have, it is actually equivalent to a bachelor's, because as I said, I recently got assigned the associate member at the Chartered Institute of Marketing. That is someone that's equivalent to 4+ years of experience. And I do have that experience. I applied it to my everyday life. And it's just something that I really, really love doing. That passion is what drives me. And it's just only up from here. As I said, I would have started at a marketing machine as a marketing assistant, and my boss would have seen my passion, my drive, and my love for the field. And it's just been going up the ladder, up the ladder, up the ladder. So my greatest advice would be, just like what Maria said, if it's not something that you can see yourself getting up every single day and doing, it doesn't really make any sense. Because I wanted to be a pediatric surgeon. That didn't work out. And I'm sure if I would have, redone physics and passed physics, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be happy in med school right now. I'll be probably tearing my hair out my head right now. So the passion that I have now for marketing, I don't see myself having to do anything else at all. So you may start off, say, okay, this is what I want to do. But if you realize that it's not working out, do what you're passionate about. Your parents will understand. Like I said, my mom didn't know I did business, principle of business, and she now understood why I did what I did. So sometimes you have to follow your gut feeling and go with the passion and go with the drive and go where you're going to be happy until, God calls for you to come home. So that would have been my advice.
Thank you, Diana. And Shanoya, in regards to human resource, what's your take on that?
Well, Maria would have touched on everything that I would also like to touch on, but I will say that it is true, the experience and the educational background, they do come hand in hand, because more time an employer, they will choose the person with the most experience over the person with the most educational background, just for the fact because they're already in the working world, they already know what to expect, because the knowledge that we gain in university, in school, it's just theoretical knowledge. It's not in the workplace. So I would say that it is hand in hand. I do agree with Maria and Diana 100%.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna start to wind it down. So I'll just ask each presenter. We'll start with the Kanisi, Serena, and Shakita, in terms of some last advice you'd give to students pursuing their degree right now. Some last advice. So we'll start with Kanisi.
Okay. So it has been said at least 30 times throughout the entire panel, but of course I'm going to tell you to get some experience. I absolutely love what the actual professionals are saying with, you have to be passionate about what you want, and you have to have that drive and that motivation. And sometimes, you may not even know exactly what, but my advice is to, try and navigate around it. If you're interested in just like speaking to people, maybe try something in marketing. If you like, communicating and connecting and like assisting people, try something in human resources, and then flesh it out and then see exactly what you are passionate about, what makes you go like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to get to work today and deal with this. And so my advice is to definitely get experience. And build your network. It doesn't have to be like such a professional network, like you must know the CEOs and so on, but even just knowing someone in the company, someone who's worked with the CEOs, someone who has that experience and can give you that advice and give you that information and details that you may need. And so building your network is very important. And definitely whether you're gaining your experience or you're going through different jobs or you're just trying to build yourself up in whatever industry or career field, always put your best foot forward and work to the best of your abilities. Just make sure that you always have that. Well, I'm not going to tell you to just magically become an extrovert if you're not an extrovert, but have that welcoming personality. Stand out. Make sure persons remember, okay, I know this person, she has like great work ethic, and the next thing you know, you may get a call back for some kind of job in the future, or they may put you on to someone else and say, this person, they're very good, they have a lovely personality. So that's my advice. And never be afraid to ask questions. I mean, you're young, you're working through it. We all sometimes we don't know what we're doing. And the marketing field and the tourism industry, it takes a lot of courage. As Serena would have mentioned earlier, you have to have the confidence. So it takes a lot of courage. So sometimes you don't really have it and you may get anxious and nervous. So don't be afraid to take a step back, ask questions, know your products, know what you're speaking about, and then put your best foot forward and just try your best. And all the best. Yes.
Nicely said. I'll move to Serena for her last bit of advice towards the participants.
Well, one piece of advice I would give is to, when you're in high school or state college, try and do the subjects geared towards your degree, because when you hit first year, it's like full speed ahead. Even though they may say they're starting with you from scratch, they're starting from a basis that you have certain understanding of things, and if you don't, then you can get left behind. So even like Shakita was saying that she didn't have there's not really a lot of internship opportunities in terms of like accounts and stuff, but you can still get the accounting knowledge from actually doing the CAPE and the CXC. Because for me personally, not saying that the lecturers are bad or anything, but right now I feel as if I'm relying on a lot of my knowledge from CAPE, from doing tourism, both units from there. Because as Kenisi would have said, a lot of the information is repetitive. So that's just my piece of advice. Just try and do subjects geared towards that subject area. So yeah.
Great, thank you. So, any last bit of advice?
Yes. So I would just like to say thank you for this opportunity again, and to just leave these few ideas with everyone that I was told a few years ago that would have benefited me now. So, one, be open-minded and grab as much opportunities as possible. Two, do a lot of volunteer work and internships to gain experiences in different career fields, because it will assist you in the long run, and it will also add to your resume for work experience. Three, if you're sure of your career path, always let it be something that you love doing, or as everyone would have already said, something that you're passionate about, so you don't get tired easily while fulfilling your career. Four, if you're not sure of which career path to begin your journey on, begin with a general career path, something like what I did, like HR. Every organization should have a HR department. So I know at least when I'm finished getting my bachelor's degree and I decide to go to work, I can at least fit into some organization in an HR department. And that will at least help you to earn some income while you try to test the waters, or to find out what you really enjoy doing. And last but not least, just be you and be yourself.
That's great. I really appreciate that last bit of advice. So now we'll go to working women. Shanoya, we'll start with you, then Diana, then Maria for a last bit of advice for going into the career field, into your respective career fields.
My last advice on going into your field is to just ensure that the field that you are choosing is the field that you want to be in years after, because it's gonna suck if you choose to do let's say HR or accounting in university, and then now you're gonna be stuck with that for the rest of your life because it's not something that you love. So I do agree with the other participants when they said that in the beginning you should have like a base courses of what you want to do. Because when I started out in university, I did not start out in HR. I did a whole year doing accounting and finance. And when in accounting and finance class, I hated every single moment of it. So I knew that that course, it wasn't going to be for me. As soon as my first year finished, I changed. I needed to do something else. And I realized that human resource management was going to be for me. So that's my big advice. Also with the experience, do try and get internships. When I applied for internships, I think I sent out like 100 emails to different companies to try and get an internship, because that experience does go well on your resume. You already had a course in resume writing, I believe, so you should be great and knowledgeable on doing your resume. Please don't write a resume and put for any opening position. I can't, I don't know where to put you. You need to know where you would like to go. All right, so that is my last advice for everybody.
Great. Thank you so much, Shanoya and Diana.
My last bit of advice, just adding to what the other participants have said, choose a field that you know you're going to be passionate about. That's one. Two, I would definitely say to go with an open mind. If you're going into the world of marketing, you have to be open-minded. You have to be creative. If you're not as creative as you think you should be, at least have an open mind to see different perspectives, different point of views, different ideas, because in marketing, it's all about ideas. It's all about putting ideas together and picking the pieces out of the different ideas. So we have like brainstorm team meetings, you pitch your idea, and then from the group discussion, we'll pick the what works for the particular project. Lastly, just be yourself. I think that's the best advice I can give. Just be yourself, be you, and be open to learn, be open to reading. I actually enjoy reading, not just marketing related books, but books about financial literacy. So you pick up on reading. Reading helps a lot. You gain a lot of knowledge. I don't have a bachelor's degree as yet. It's in the works, but the knowledge that I have, how I speak about certain things, a lot of persons would not know. I don't have a bachelor's degree. I just have the knowledge because I read a lot. So yeah, that's about it.
Great. Thank you so much, Anna. Maria?
So being here today, I would say, is your first step in really showing that you're serious about your career path. I mean, I don't think when I was your age, there was a forum like this that I could go to get advice. I really want to give a big hug to the Youth Today team. I think you did a great job. It's so refreshing to be amongst a group of dynamic young professionals. I mean, I'm blown away by your professionalism. I want to say to the persons that have joined today's session that I know we spoke about the career path to get into a place of employment, but I have been looking at so many young entrepreneurs on Instagram and on Facebook, and I feel like your age, your year is really the year where you need to kind of look into owning your own business. When I was stepping out, looking for a job, the job opportunities were available. I see my brothers and persons after, people that I would have, mentored, persons that are younger than me. it's harder for them to get a job, and this pandemic is not making it any easier. But I've seen persons go the route of being their own entrepreneurs, and that has inspired me. I will not lie. It's been like, wow, these young people are so confident. They are go-getters. They're not letting anything stop them from living their vision. And that's actually part of the reason that I started Maria Blackman PR as well, because I saw them doing this stuff and I was like, man, I'm going to do it. This has been a dream of mine. I am motivated by them, and I am going to launch my part as well. I'm going to create my own opportunity. Serena, I see you doing your thing as well. And it's admirable. So I want to let these young people know you're looking at a career path, not just to get a job in somebody else's business and somebody else's dream, but you're creating a career path that will allow you to own your own business if that's what you want to do. Don't feel boxed in. I think everybody else today gave some very good advice. Deanna said about the free courses, and I want to agree with that. I saw lots of online free, FREE being the keyword, online courses coming up during this whole COVID pandemic. One of the programs that I looked into was Coursera, COURSERA.com. I'm actually doing 2 courses online with them. And I think that you need to explore those avenues as well. So if you're thinking, schooling might be a bit expensive, there's nothing stopping you from looking at online opportunities that are free. There's nothing stopping you from applying for scholarships. Scholarships are available. Okay, yes, you have to write an essay. Yes, you have to fill out a form. Do it. And don't think that, I'm not good enough, I'm not qualified enough. There are people who have less qualifications than you, who know less than you, that have the confidence and who've applied and they've gotten through. So go for it. Whatever it is that you set your mind to, you can achieve. And that's it. Just do it. As Nike says, just do it. If you don't start, you will never get anywhere.
Great. So thank you guys so much again. I believe this was a very informative session. And if you guys think of anyone that could benefit from watching this our short discussion, we'll send you guys the link towards this discussion afterwards, because it'll be on our YouTube channel. But thank you again. And I believe the participants had, Maria.
Oh, you're
on mute.
Yeah. Maria, you're still on mute.
I just wanted to say I am available, so please feel free to reach out to me if you want any more advice, if you just want somebody to speak to. My office, the Tourism Authority, we also do have internship positions. So if that's something that you want to look into, then definitely contact the office. Okay.
And you guys heard that, and we're big on building experience, so I feel like a lot of participants would really benefit, and hopefully they reach out to you after.
Jump at that opportunity. Yes. Thank you so much, Maria.
So thank you again, everyone, and it's been a great discussion. So it's 12 o'clock now, so we'll be jumping into our next session. You guys are more than welcome to stay if you want to hear about accounting, but if you guys have things to do, we do enjoy your time here, and have a good day.
Bye, guys.